Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Saturday. Thanks for hanging out with me here as we're the Instagram boot camp. I am so excited to kind of tie all of these pieces together from what we learned in the boot camp. Also celebrate your success, invite you to learn with me further, and all of that amazing juiciness. Now, for those of you who are watching live, I want to see your faces. So in the chat, if you could type hi and where you're from, I would love to put that up on the screen. And I just want to see a list of where everyone is joining us in from live, because I think that would be so cool. So go ahead and type that in the chat. While we do that, for those of you who are new, hello. I am Andrea Jones. I am a social media strategist, and I am all about serving small business owners, helping them understand social media and using it as a tool to grow your business. I see Naomi there. Hi from West Texas. Hey, Naomi. Everyone else, put it in the chat so you can see it up on the screen. I am in Niagara Falls, Canada. I'm originally from Atlanta, was born in Miami, grew up in Atlanta, and I am just obsessed with social media. I have been in this space professionally for over 7 years. I have been online since 2004, back when it was definitely not cool at all. So I just love teaching and showing all of the things about social media. So I see Alyssa is here from San Antonio. Twyla is here from the sunny DMV. How's the weather out there right now? How's the gas situation right now? There's like a freaking gas shortage on the East Coast. James from Winnipeg. Hello, hello. Reba from my hometown, Atlanta. Hi. Katrina from the Phillies. Yes, awesome. Perfect. Thank you all for joining me today. We are going to dive into this content shortly. How many of you, raise your hand, did you participate in the Instagram bootcamp? Did you participate in the Instagram bootcamp, yes or no? If no, no worries. I am going to post the link in the chat for the bootcamp. There is still time to go through the video. So if you are in the school, you will have lifetime access to the videos. We are adding those in now. And if you are not in the school, we will keep these free for a limited time till May 21st. Okay, so the videos will be free until May 21st. And then after that, they disappear. So you can still join. I put the link in the chat. You can still join the bootcamp, watch the videos, but you're going to have to binge watch them at this point because they're going to expire next week. Hey, Marcy from South Florida. Hey, Carrie from Detroit. Welcome, welcome. We are going to spend a lot of time today going through Instagram workshop. I'm putting that up on the screen now, and I'm going to have to take the chat away so everything fits. But please keep using the chat. I want to connect with y'all as we go through this content. But this is the Instagram workshop here. Let me see if I can organize my screen here a little bit differently so that everything is up there. How's that? That works good. Y'all see everything? Good. Yes, you learned a lot. Awesome. I'm going to drink some water. A lot of talking this week. Okay, we're talking all about Instagram and Instagram habits. And one of the reasons that I really, truly love Instagram is because as a business owner, you're mixing and mingling with all of the other accounts on Instagram, right? Like on Facebook, it's a completely separate page. On LinkedIn, it's a completely separate profile. But when we're thinking about Instagram, businesses and personal accounts can behave the same way. And so there's a lot of opportunity for business owners to leverage this tool as a fantastic way to grow your business. Plus, it's like 6 platforms in one. You've got your feed posts, you've got stories, you've got reels, you've got IGTV, you've got Instagram guides. There's so many different ways that business owners can participate in this platform, as we saw this week. Shout out to Alyssa. Alyssa took the Repost challenge report card and said she learned so many things from this challenge to really boost her engagement. Time well spent. Congrats, Alyssa, on your progress. I love celebrating you. We also have Twyla here, who is now an Instagram pro. after this challenge. Twyla, amazing. Yes, thank you for participating in the challenge. Lori here said there wasn't a change in her rating, but huge change in attitude. And you guys know, if you went through the challenge, I'm all about mindset and really helping you improve not just the output, but the way you think about Instagram, the way you think about this wonderful, amazing tool that is available to you for free to grow your business. Lastly, we have Linda here, leveled up to level 8. Whoa, amazing. So much improved in just 1 week. Y'all, even if you just go through the first section of the Instagram bootcamp, you will see a change in your Instagram account, as we saw on day 1. Check out that link in the comments. You can still join and sign up. The videos will be available until the 21st, and then they poof, disappear. We'll probably do it again next year because it was a lot of fun. All right, let's talk about common roadblocks. Again, this is a mindset thing. How many of you in this challenge shifted some of these roadblocks? So as I put them up on the screen, I'd love to know how this shifted for you. Hey, Cynthia, West Palm Beach. Woo, woo. I'm originally from Miami. I miss the heat a lot. But let's talk a little bit about these roadblocks. So the first roadblock that a lot of us come into contact with Instagram is that there are so many options, right? There's so many places where what we could be doing. Where should we be spending our time? How many of you relate to this? There's so many things we could be doing. Or how about this one? With Instagram, there's like a sense of dread when we get a notification because we're like so distracted from the world around us. Or if we're so distracted from what we're doing that we go, oh, Instagram, oh, what is this? And it's just something silly like Instagram's like a spam DM, or they're telling you to log back into the app to engage. Silly, silly. Hey, Janelle, all the way from Australia. Welcome. And Lindsay is here from Flagstaff. Lindsay, hi. Here are a few others. We're not feeling inspired to post, or we're not sure what to post. Or we feel like a content machine, like we're posting, and we feel like, what is this for, right? And I know we all feel this way sometimes. I want to put the chat back on so everyone who's just joining us gets their shout outs up there. If you're just joining in, go ahead and say hi in the comments and tell us where you're from, and it'll pop up on the screen. But these common roadblocks are common because we feel them. And sometimes we feel alone when we're going through these roadblocks, right? And so that's why I want to share them with you, because you're not alone. If you feel like you're opening Instagram and you're like, I don't even know how to post a story. Or if you feel like you're opening Instagram and you're like, everyone seems like they know what they're doing, but I feel like I don't. I want to share these roadblocks because you're absolutely not alone. A lot of us feel this way. And there is a way forward with this. It doesn't have to be like that, but I do want us to stop and pause and acknowledge that that is the case, that is that way. Yes, hi Caroline from South France. Bonjour. I have like the worst French knowledge ever. And being that my husband's family is French Canadian, I'm trying to learn. But all I can do is go to restaurants and say puis-je avoir and point at things. That's all. That's as far as I got. But today we're going to dive into some strategy and some mindset and really building out a system that works for you. If you're just joining in, feel free to say hi in the chat. Oh, Caroline says, bonjour, hello. I'd love to see the chat just light up on the screen with all of your beautiful faces. As we get into today's session, one of the questions that I get often is about this streaming software that I'm using. And it is one of our sponsors here at the Online Drea Inc. company. It's called Restream. You can sign up for yourself. It lets you, it's free to sign up, a free trial, but it lets you live stream to multiple locations. You can create beautiful layouts like this. So the shout out, thank you to our sponsor, Restream. They helped us be able to produce such an amazing live streaming system that's really easy. I just go to one place and we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. So it's great. And then if you want to learn more about live streaming, I do have a free live stream guide, onlinedrea.com/livestream, where you can kind of get my process to live streaming, how to start, what to say when you live stream, what to do after, and all of the juicy bits in between. So again, shout out to our sponsor, Restream. Thank you so much for the support that you give to our business. All right. Let's go back over to our slides. So let me put this off the screen and we're going to go back over to here to talk about strategy. Instagram strategy. This is where a lot of us start to feel the overwhelm. So my goal for our session for the next 30 minutes is to reduce that overwhelming feeling so that you can actually use Instagram as a tool to grow your business in a way that works for you and in a way that is sustainable long term. If I told you to go in today and post every single day, 3 times a day, I mean, even just saying it sounds exhausting, right? So I want you to be able to do this in a way that makes sense for you. And we're going to start off with the content strategy. And those of you who are in the school, y'all have seen this before, but those of you who are not, this may feel new to you. And even if you have seen this before, it is a really good practice to revisit this strategy every 3 to 6 months. Okay, you do want to keep it fresh. You do want to either quarterly or biannually revisit your content strategy to make sure that it is speaking to those right people. So let's dive into the 5 pillars of content, which y'all know, all-time favorite. And there are essentially 5 different types of content pieces that you can post on social media. The first one is promotional content. And promotional content is that style of content that promotes our offer. We're talking about our service. We're talking about the products that we produce. We're talking about what we want to sell. And for those of you who are like, I don't have anything to sell yet, which came up quite a bit during this challenge, this boot camp, I don't have anything to sell yet. That is okay. When you're asking for something, you're selling. So if you have a podcast and you're asking for podcast listeners, you're selling the concept of your show. You're asking people to exchange their time. It may not be monetary, but it's time. Hey, Dina, good morning. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're going over the 5 pillars of content right now. And the first pillar is that promotional content. So your product, your offer, you're selling something, or if it's a podcast or a blog, you're asking for their attention. That's the currency there. The next pillar of content is educational content. With this type of content, we as a business are positioning ourselves as leaders in this space. So if you are a coach or consultant, this is the reason why you're a coach or consultant. If you produce products or if you design digital products, physical products, if you sell something that isn't a service, you're still positioning yourself as a leader. Why should people trust that you know what you're doing when you put that product together, that your company knows what you're doing? So when you're talking about educational content, you're teaching something new. And we'll use our characters as an example. We have our little characters that we use during this boot camp, our little avatars, and we'll use them as an example later. And I'll actually break this down for you for each of them. Hey, what's up? From Cape Town, South Africa. Welcome. I just realized this is still on the screen. Let me move that. There we go. Okay, next up we have our community content. So community content is that type of content that isn't necessarily positioning you as an authority in your space, but it's showing that you are a part of something bigger. It's showing that you understand what's going on in your industry. And oftentimes for a lot of us, this is news articles, something that's happening in the news that relates to what you're doing. So you're not necessarily talking about your expertise, but you're showing your expertise by sharing externally other things. You can talk about things that are parallel in your industry. But you're really showcasing a larger community. If you're a local business, you're maybe talking about things that are happening in your local community as well. Next up, we have our entertainment content. Now, this type of content is hard for us as business owners, but I want you to think about this as the reality TV show version of your business. If someone were to stick a camera into your business, what would they see? And so when we're thinking about this as a business owner, you can show client testimonials here. This is behind the scenes. This is that type of content where people feel like they know who you are as a company. They know your company identity. So as a coach consultant, maybe you're showing your workspace. If you're a podcaster, you're showing your podcasting setup behind the scenes. If you are a product maker, this is showing your product in action. I think I remember, I think it was Naomi had an Instagram reel that showed her her product packaging, which is a fantastic way to use this style of content. And you can use memes, you can use jokes, you can be funny here, lighten the mood a little bit. I don't know about y'all, but I don't log on to social media hoping to see some sort of advertisement. Typically, I want to look at cute dogs and that sort of thing. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us. For those of you who are just joining in, we're covering the 5 pillars of content. The last pillar here is our engaging pillar. And this one's my favorite one because it's actually the hottest pillar right now. If we're talking about strategy versus tactics, the tactic of using posts that encourage engagement are going to get you that engagement. And they're going to be favored by the algorithm. And so when we're talking about engaging content, this is, again, shifting away from you and shifting towards the work. It's shifting away from you and shifting towards your ideal client, your ideal customer, that person who you're speaking to. So instead of saying, here I am and here's why I'm so awesome, it's flipping the script and going, hey, I want to learn more about you. It can be as simple as, I love using a poll here. So what's your favorite season? A, summer. B, winter. C, spring. D, fall, whatever the case may be. People love answering those types of things. It can be a lot deeper as well. But the idea here is to encourage engagement with your audience. And I see some folks joining in. Hey, what's up, Easing? What's up, Rohit? Welcome. HSCT Warriors, welcome from Kentucky. This is our Instagram workshop. This is a wrap up to our Instagram bootcamp that we just ran live. Link is in the chat. And we're talking all about content systems. And when I oftentimes present this 5 pillars of content strategy, the question I often get is, Andrea, how much time is this going to take? I feel like this is going to take a lot of time. And so what I recommend is spending 1 hour a week, planning, designing, and writing your social media posts. Type yes in the chat if you think this is reasonable. Is this achievable? Type yes in the chat. Spending 1 hour a week planning, designing, and writing your social media posts. Do we have an hour even? And for a lot of us, this is achievable, okay? But we have to prepare for this to happen, and that's where this challenge comes into play. Yes. Awesome. I love it. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. It's one of those things that when we think about it, it sounds massive. But when we actually break it down, it's not. And so I wanted to show you, I'm going to show you in a minute a few different ways to do this. But one of the questions that I got during the challenge was, I actually posted this as an Instagram reel. If we have that idea in the shower or like on the toilet or whatever, and then we go to sit down to write, but we don't do this like 1 hour a week until Friday. We had that idea on Monday. What do we do? What do we do in the meantime? And so I wanted to show you what I do. I actually use Google Keep. Have y'all heard of Google Keep? It's one of Google's products. And so I just wrote copy ideas, newsletter, blog, video, I don't know. And anytime I have an idea, I pop it in here. So if social media is a dating game, then your post should be seducing. Oh my gosh. I actually haven't used that yet. I love that. Wow, I'm so smart. Anyways, this is my process in action. So sometimes I have these ideas that pop into my head. I'm like, social media is like a seduction game. I talk about the dating a lot, but I don't think I've ever used the word seducing. And I'm going to have to find a way to weave that in. But this is how I put my ideas together. This one here, for example, perfect grammar doesn't help you. That is a newsletter and it's a social media post very recently. I want to say within the past 2 weeks. And that was an idea that I had, who knows how long ago, months ago probably, that I added to this Google document. Or Google Keep. You can use a Google document, but just have one place where you put this content and it will save your life. And then when you sit down for that hour, you just look at this and go, oh, wow. Now, the other thing you can do is on day 2 of the challenge, do y'all remember the before and after scenario that we did? Day 2 of the challenge, we did this before and after. I should have pulled it up. That brainstorming session is so powerful. And if you sit down to do that quarterly, biannually, you will have so many ideas. We're focusing in on the feelings. Yes, Alyssa says yes. Welcome, Efi, tuning in from DC. Yes, you love the boot camp. Oh my gosh, I love it. Yeah, instead of a bunch of pieces of paper, we don't want a bunch of pieces of paper, right? We want to have very specific place where we go, my Google Keep, where we go to store this. It could be your notes app. It could be anything. So as you're going through and planning your content, put your ideas here, and then you can mine your own brain for ideas later on, okay? And this will really, really help you. And I like having it digital, y'all. Paper is great, but paper is hard to search, right? You want to be able to search for things later, like, oh, I had an idea about spaceships. You could type in the word spaceships and it'll pull up that idea, right? So write it down digitally. Use the magic of the internet. All right. So that's the first piece of this puzzle, which is scheduling your content. Next up, we talked about connection in the Instagram bootcamp. And on day 3 of the bootcamp, I challenged you to scroll through your Instagram and connect with new people. Okay. And this is not just a one-time thing. I want you to do this regularly. It was very interesting to see the aha moments people had as they were scrolling through and connecting. Oh, I could do this. I had two people already respond to a comment, and so many other things like that. And just remember that you're a human connecting with other human beings. Okay. So this isn't about running up to someone and saying, oh my gosh, marry me, come buy all of my things. We've all had people like that, right? I feel like I've told this story before, but I tell it again because I think it illustrates a great point in that I think this happened on LinkedIn. Someone reached out to me, sent me a friend request. I accepted, immediately sent me a message that said, hey, I live in Wisconsin or something like that. I sell solar panels. Do you want to put solar panels on your roof, on your house? I was like, what? Solar panels? I don't even live in the same country as you, dude. So I think when we're thinking about it, it does come from a good place. So if that's you, if you're a solar panels guy, don't judge yourself, but understand that you're being a little overeager. You're being a little excitable. Okay, you're like that person at the party who, like, as soon as you walk into the door, they attach to you and they're talking your ear off the whole time. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to sit down and have a drink. You're that person right now. Just tone it down a little bit and interact as other human beings. If you saw someone in line at Starbucks, if you like their shoes, you say, hey, I'd like your shoes, and keep it going from there, right? So how much time do we spend on all of this? This was one of the questions that popped up in the boot camp. Some of y'all, it actually took you quite a bit of time. Some people took 5 minutes. You flew through the challenge. And so what I want you to commit to is spending 10 to 20 minutes a day engaging on Instagram. Type yes in the chat if this is something you can commit to. Let me see if I can actually put the chat up this time. Type yes in the chat if this is something you can commit to, spending 10 to 20 minutes a day engaging on social media. Because I think it's one of those things where we make it bigger than it has to be. And again, this comes from us being business owners. Look at all those yeses coming in. Yes, 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 I'm in. I love it. See, this is coming from us being business owners. Y'all, the reason why we're business owners and not employees is because we have this I'm going to do the most mentality, right? That's what we have. Yes, we're going to block the time. Yep. But as business owners, we want to do the most. That's why we're business owners. If we wanted to do the least, we would not own a business, right? If we wanted to do the bare minimum, we would not own a business. But what happens is if you try to go hard and do the most and spend 3 hours every day on Instagram, you may burn out, right? You may burn out. But if you spend a smaller amount of time, 10 to 20 minutes a day, you could do this for years and years to come. And that's what I teach you here at the school. And that's the strategy that I teach. And I love seeing all the yeses on the screen. Thank you. Okay. 10 to 20 minutes a day, we're going to commit to that. And I'll show you how in a moment. We are still on the strategy. All right. Let's talk about measuring success. We didn't really talk about this that much in the challenge, but I gotta touch on it, y'all, because it is so important. Because oftentimes when we look at our Instagram, we go, I feel like it's not working. I feel like it's not working. And, when we feel like it's not working, typically that's not coming from any sort of metric. It's coming from our feelings. Remember, we're feeling creatures. We like feeling. Katrina, can you save that question for our Q&A time? I really want to talk more about that. I think that's such a great question. If I may circle back to it, but if I don't, feel free to type it again. Yes. So this success idea, we feel like it's not working, but we're not actually looking at the numbers. So I want you to take a moment to think about this. We're not going to spend a lot of time here because we've got a lot to cover today. But I have to mention it, especially with Instagram. Go into your Instagram insights and take a look at a few different things. There are 5 different metrics that I want you to think about. Number 1 is community growth. This is number of followers, easy, but only one metric, community growth. The second is impact. We're looking at things like impressions. We're looking at things like reach. How many people saw your posts? Okay. If you're seeing impressions and reach go up, meaning more impressions, more reach, but you're not seeing more followers, you're not seeing more engagement, you are not reaching the right people, my friends. Okay. So that's why these numbers are important to look at in conjunction with each other. Then I must be, not applying the savvy engagement growth recipe to the right people. I'm reaching more people, but they're not engaging with me. Why? Engagement is great. The algorithm loves it. It boosts your posts. It builds a community. We're talking about things like likes. We're talking about things like comments, but even shares and saves on Instagram, very, very great engagement points. We're looking at things like intent. So how on Instagram you tell people, go click that link in the bio. Have you ever looked how many people from that post went to look at the link in the bio? That's how we know if it's working or not. So I challenge you to look at that. And lastly, conversions. So not only how many people looked at the link in the bio, but did they actually click it? Did they click it? And this is something that we teach in the Savvy Social School more in depth, but I really wanted to touch on this today because it's so important. And one of the biggest challenges I see for entrepreneurs who say, I feel like it's not working, is because the metrics that they're tracking don't match the intent of the content. So your metrics that you're tracking, it's not matching the intent. So what that means is you're promoting your offer and you're looking at that promotional post and you're asking yourself, why aren't people engaging with this? You're looking at the wrong thing. When you're looking at a promotional post, you want to say not how many people engage with it, but how many people did what you asked, which is click the link in the bio, visit your website, sign up for your lead magnet, and on, right? That's what you should be tracking. Oftentimes when we're promoting our podcast, when we're promoting our offer, people aren't really engaging with it because they hopefully are going to do the thing. And we're humans. We do one thing at a time. right? When you're asking for people to comment and engage and you're asking questions, that's when you look for engagement. Awesome. Okay. Let's set this all up together with a system. We're going to tie all of the things we learned today and in the last 5 days of this boot camp into a neat little bow, because your success is your intention and your micro habits jammed together. And I'm not talking about big, massive shifts. I'm talking about the little things that you commit to every single day to grow your business. So I want you to pick one after today's session and commit to it. You don't have to do everything here. If you're in the school, you'll be able to revisit this or take notes and revisit this content again and again. So there are 3 types of systems. We kind of covered them. You've got your content creation, you've got your implementation, and you've got your recording method, metrics recording method. Okay, so you need to answer yes to all 3 of these for your micro habits to stick. When are you creating content? When are you actually going to go in and engage with the people in your community? And how are you going to measure your success at the end of the day? So when we think about content creation, a few things. Choose a day and time that works for you. In the school, we do Fridays at 2 o'clock. We have our co-working hour. Pick one that works for you and stick with it. And then put it in your calendar. Set up a date with yourself. Commit to this habit. Notice that as you commit to the habit, you actually build trust with yourself over time. This is that mindset piece. I love this because I think sometimes we overestimate how much we want to do something. I'm like this right now with, I bought some new roller skates, and y'all, I'm like a little baby giraffe out there on my roller skates. It is hard. It is hard. And so when I don't have a date and time set up, my mind goes, that's hard. Let's do something else, right? And I feel like these content creation habits we're building, we are like me on my roller skates right now. It doesn't quite look pretty. I don't look cool like all the people on TikTok bumping and jiving and jamming on their roller skates. I look like a 2-year-old trying to learn how to walk for the first time. It is embarrassing, frankly. That's where you are. And you know what? You have to go through that embarrassing period in order to get to the pro status. Not a single person jumps straight to being a professional. Not one person in this entire universe. And just because we don't like being a beginner doesn't mean we can skip that step. Okay, so when you commit to your habits, you build trust with yourself over time. And then observe your skill set improving as you practice. Compare yourself to yourself. And I like to use Asana for this. You can use Google Calendar. I use a timer. This is how I know the hour works. It is the amount of time that is the easiest for us to commit to. Majority of business owners online, smaller online business owners can commit to this hour a week. And that's because I timed myself, tested it out, looked at my clients, studied this for over 3 years of teaching this material in the school. All right, then we have our daily check-ins. Similar idea, set aside a time every day, 15 to 20 minutes. Commit to yourself to building these habits, building new connections, and use the tools. Again, I like Asana for task management. I set myself a little task, check Instagram, and then I check it off. And it feels really good to check it off, but then it's part of my day because I'm building it into the other habits that I have built in, like checking my email and like building out a client strategy and creating videos for the school. All right, and then we have our monthly metrics. Set aside 30 minutes each month. I like to do this on the 1st of every month. So again, Asana task, Google Calendar. Set out your monthly metrics. Make sure you're focused on the metrics that bring the most impact to your business. I'm going to say that again. Make sure you're focused on the metrics that will bring the most impact to your business. Because a lot of times we're focused on followers, and followers are not everything. I was joking with my team yesterday because I just passed 7,000 followers on Instagram. Woohoo, 7,000. I wish I could trade each follower for $1 and have $7,000. Wouldn't that be fun? But in all reality, my business is worth way more than 7,000 followers or $7,000, right? I mean, I'm sure you can run the numbers. I've got a team of 10. We've got about 230 people in the school. We've got 20 clients. Average client is about 2,500 a month. I mean, you can run the numbers for how a successful business looks like. 7,000 followers is not a measure of a successful business. So measure the right things. And again, use your tools. You can use a spreadsheet for this. We use Airtable. We use Google Docs. We use a tool called Fan Booster. Don't make it too complicated. Just write it down. Okay. How are we doing on time? Ooh, okay. I'm running a little bit over, but I hope y'all are learning a lot from this. Let me stop sharing my screen. Talk to me in the chat. Let's pull up the chat again. How's this going for you so far? What are you learning? Pop it in the chat. Because I think it's so important to share communal knowledge. This isn't just me trying to stand up here and preach and talk about everything I know. I want us to share as a community what we're experiencing, what we're learning, how we're feeling, because that's where the magic happens. That is where the magic happens. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to pull up my screen here and our characters. And I'm going to walk you through what this strategy would look like with our characters. Okay, with our characters. Evie says, yes, learning lots of important micro actions to maintain. Cynthia says, realistic time to grow Instagram. Love that. Naomi, time management and building a routine. Absolutely. It's all in the routine. It's all in the routine. Yes, I love this. All right, so next up, we're going to talk about a way to do this. I want to show instead of just telling. And as a bonus in the challenge, I gave you a PDF blank social media calendar. I'm popping it in the chat. For those of you who are in the challenge, you'll be able to download that and access it. Hopefully that went out. Katie says, committing to an hour to complete content work. Yes. Refocusing on the monthly time to plan. Yes. Block that time. Commit to yourself. Commit to yourself. Because once you start trusting yourself, that's where confidence is. Confidence literally is people who trust themselves more than other people. That's what confidence is. So if you have trust in yourself, imagine the magic that's going to happen. Imagine the magic. The PDF that I just shared, it's only for those in the Instagram bootcamp. So if you're getting an error that says, hey, you don't have access, you got to log in to the bootcamp or sign up for the bootcamp. And yes, it's free, but you got to only have access this way. Okay. Awesome. All right. Let's pull up our characters again. Our lovely characters. I loved creating these characters. Y'all remember Kinisha? She was a therapist, coach for leaders, helping them build and manage their dream team. So we're going to do, actually, I'm going to share my screen and show you what Kinisha's schedule would look like. Okay, what Kinisha's schedule would look like using the PDF I just shared with you. So this is Kinisha. And we're going to do next week, which is May 17, right? That's next week, right? What is time? I feel like 2020, 2021. I keep thinking 2021 is 2020. And it has been just a very interesting year, right? I can't be the only one who's thinking this, right? Let me know if you can see my iPad up on the screen, just to make sure. I feel like, I can see it. Hopefully you can see it. Katrina is asking, is this workshop also being recorded? Yes. And it will be available until the 21st. Yes, absolutely. So you can come back to this recording up until the 21st, or if you're in the school, you'll have lifetime access. Yes, we can see it. Okay, great. So this is Kinisha, and she's going to do her schedule based on what we learned. So the first thing she's going to do is every Monday, she's going to promote her services. So promote. Okay. Promote her services. And her goal for this is to get a consult call booked. So as she's writing out her post, maybe she's going to talk about hiring. She's going to focus on that call to action being to book a consult call. And y'all don't judge my handwriting here. We're going to call it artistic. But this is Kinishas Monday. So Monday, May 17th, she's going to, her topic is promote. That's the type of post based on the 5 pillars of content. She is going to, her goal is to get a consult call booked, and she's going to write a caption about hiring. All right. And then she's actually going to do 3 posts a week. So her Wednesday post is going to be an educate post. So she's sharing her expertise. And this is actually going to be a stat about hiring. So she's going to continue this hiring theme. Okay. And she's going to do this. Oh, this is the goal. Hold on. Let me actually move this. I had this backwards. That's the goal. That's the caption of the post. Her goal is to get people to engage. And so she's going to share some shocking stats about the state of what the hiring world looks like right now. Yes. Oh, sorry, I froze. Okay. So yes, the recording will be available. The recording will be available until May 21st, or lifetime access in the Savvy Social School. So you can come back to this. Perfect. All right. So that's Kinishas Monday, Wednesday post. Friday, she's going to do a post that is all about engaging. Okay. And her goal is for people to share this. She wants people to share this one. And so she's actually going to do this stories post. Hold on. Let me go back. Sorry, mixed up my notes. Her goal for the Friday post is actually for people to DM her. So then she's going to use her stories, and she's going to ask for a DM. Okay, ask for a DM. And so you can see how, if this is her week and she's planned it out, how it could take her easily less than an hour to zoom through this content. And for a lot of you who are just starting out, this is where you are. It is absolutely okay to do 3 posts a week. And if you feel like you can only do 1 post in that hour, just do 1. Give yourself a time limit rather than a number of posts limit. Because just like me baby giraffing out there on my roller skates, y'all, I wish I were not too embarrassed. I would take a video. I just need to keep doing it. It's not about the skill at this point. It's about practicing and building that trust with yourself. Okay. All right, let's move on and take a look at our next person. Take a look at the schedule. The replay. The replay for this will be up right after. All right, Aria. Let's move on to Aria. So Aria, as a reminder, sells website templates to beauty brands, and the goal is for them to create a digital home that they're proud of. So Aria is going to build out her schedule. So let's work on Aria's schedule here next. And when we're thinking about this, again, this is a number of times. So this is Aria. And she's going to do the same thing. This is going to be next week of May. I just realized it was already there, 17, with my creative handwriting. And Aria is also going to promote on Monday. But her goal is to get people to visit the website. And she is actually going to talk specifically about one of her templates. I'm calling it Template A. Template A. So that's what she's going to talk about, her website, a specific product. On Tuesday, she's going to share a testimonial. Again, she wants people to go to her website. This is another variation of a promotional post, but this time she's going to talk about Template B. On Wednesday, her goal is to have people engage with this post. She really wants them to leave a comment. So that's the type of engagement she wants, or comments. So she's going to ask a question. What tools do you use? What tools do you use in your business? So she wants people to comment for this. And then she's going to do one more post on Friday. This is going to be in that community content pillar. So remember, community posts are geared towards people wanting to share other things. So she's going to, she wants people to share this. So she wants her audience to share, and she's going to talk about some news. She's actually going to share an article about how e-commerce is rising during this global pandemic that we're going to. okay, that we're going through. Awesome. Yes. Okay, that's Aria. Lastly, last up here, we have Darius. Darius was our dentist virtual assistant, and he really helps those virtual assistants, those dentist offices, free up time for their practice. So let's take a look at what Darius, his outline is. He's a little bit more advanced. So he's going to spend his hour is actually going to go a lot longer. All of these people are using the same amount of time, the same hour. And this is going to be May 17th. And why does May 17 keep coming out like that? Okay, May 17. And okay, so he's actually going to start off his Monday with a promotion post as well, promo. But his goal is he wants people to visit the website to listen to his podcast. Remember, he has the podcast. So he's going to promote episode 45. So go listen to episode number 45. On Tuesday, he's going to educate. His goal is to get people to share this content. So he's going to talk about the top tools for scheduling for dentist office. And he's probably actually going to do a bit of a carousel post for this one. Wednesday, community post. He's going to share an article on some news that's happening in his industry. Maybe there's something about dentist offices opening back up because of the pandemic. Make it topical. On Thursday, he's going to do an entertainment. He had a little bit of humor to his brand. So he's going to share, he wants people to share this meme. So he's going to do something specific. I don't know any dentist memes, but he does. And he's going to share a dentist meme on Thursday. And he wants other dentists to share and connect with his content. And then on Friday, his goal is to get people to engage. And so he wants them specifically to comment on his post. And so he's going to ask a question, probably something like, how's your weekend going? Okay. Awesome. Oh, hey, Justine. Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So that is an example. Oh, Gibson's adjusting. Introducing Gibson for those who don't know. Gibson is actually the CEO of the company. And he stays back there to make sure I'm doing my job. But this is an example of what these calendars can look like for you using our characters. So they have varying outputs. They all spent an hour a week on this content, okay? Varying outputs, but they all spent an hour a week on this, which I think is reasonable. Yes? All right, let's talk about mindset. We talked a lot about strategy. I think the strategy piece is important, but y'all know this mindset piece is where we get stuck. So I want to challenge you today because you have two choices. You can continue to stress out about Instagram, or you can just give yourself permission to start trying. Give yourself permission to start trying and do the dang thing, right? Those are our options right now. We get stuck as humans in our brains where we're ruminating, we're thinking, we're deciding, and we feel like we're actually doing work. We are not. There's no work happening, just thinking happening. And while thinking and ruminating is important, at some point we have to get up out from our thoughts and actually go post on Instagram and actually spend that hour and actually put the time into doing the right things. Yes. And I like Facebook more or Instagram more right now as well, Neves. Instagram is my favorite platform. Naomi asks, at that point, would each character actually create the posts? Yes, Naomi. So they spent about 10 minutes plotting out the posts. They're going to spend the rest of the 50 minutes writing out the caption. They're going to use a Canva template that they've already created to design something to go with that post or pull a photo in or something like that. But they would spend that hour working on this content. Yes, absolutely, Naomi. And they would plan it and plot it out. All right, so are we ready to take action? Are we ready to move forward with what we're doing? I want to invite you to take action and join me in furthering this education, because social media can feel like the wild, wild west. I know it's so easy to get overwhelmed. I hope during this boot camp, you got a little taste of how I can help you guide and make sense of all of the things out there so that you actually get results from your amazing work. And that's what we do in the Savvy Social School. It's really the ultimate social media marketing membership for new business owners ready to skyrocket their impact. And I want to show you an example of the work that we do using one of my beautiful clients, Linda. When she started working with us, she was struggling with 300 Instagram followers for quite a while. We got her to over 1,000, but that's not the point. We dialed in her messaging, and she is working with massive companies like FedEx, right? Linda's out here doing the dang thing. Actually, let me put her Instagram link in the chat so you guys can go check her out, because she totally shifted her branding, and she's almost completely booked out now because of it. And it's not the number of followers that make that difference. It's the impact. She's a vice president at a company. She has a very successful career, and she's doing it all. This is Jessica. Jessica joined the school, and she loves that she can get her questions answered. As y'all have seen in this boot camp, I'm in there, Katie's in there, my team is in there supporting you. And so you don't have to feel stuck. You don't have to feel like you don't have anywhere to turn to. You actually get support with the school. So here's what's included in the program. Here's our promise to you. We want to help you with getting extreme clarity on what to say in your social media posts. So I gave you some sample captions. We have hundreds, probably thousands of those by now in the school. So when you're sitting down to write your content, you don't have to think of a caption from scratch. We got you. Get guidance and shortcuts on creating graphics and videos. We have so many templates for you as well. Just like we showed in this boot camp, we have lots of things where you can just put in the text that you want to put in, and everything else is designed for you. You get opportunities to get support live, real time, for whatever it is you're going through. We have live trainings, office hours, our lovely community where you can ask a question and get a response. So you're not relying on Dr. Google to answer your questions. Full-length courses, y'all, the Instagram course is popping. Yes, there's Instagram Reels in there, and I actually made myself a list this week of a bunch of new trainings I want to add into the course. So it's fun. So if you want to dive deeper into Instagram and Instagram strategy, this is for you. Instagram Live, IGTV, Instagram Reels, or even the basics like how do I optimize account? How do I create a story? All in there. And then additional support with new features. Instagram Reels, I just added a tutorial for how to do a green screen on Instagram Reels, so specific things like that, but also other platforms. We've got Facebook, we've got LinkedIn, Clubhouse course completely finished, TikTok in progress, which you can get access to whatever we have currently. And here's Jamie. Jamie is one of the OG members, and he said for the first time ever, he has hope on social media. Every other person makes it way too big. We're dialing it in. Give yourself a time limit. An hour a week on content, 10 to 20 minutes on engaging, 30 minutes a month on metrics. That's it. Practice, 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 and you'll get it. Or if you're like Bianca and you just like the done for you post, no shame in that. Bianca joined us, grabbed as much social media done for you content as she possibly could. And that is what saved her the most time. Okay, so you can do that as well. So if you join today, we have a special offer for those of you who are in the boot camp. Typically it's $57 a month when we're talking about this challenge, but if you join today, it is $37. So that is $20 off your first month when you join the school. And I'm going to drop a link here in the chat for you to have that direct code if you want to go ahead and join us. Honestly, it is month to month. So I just challenge you to give it a try. If you don't like it, you can cancel at any time. We don't shame you into canceling. We don't have like a super long sequence that makes you feel bad for canceling. We understand that business is flexible. Join for a month, and then cancel and then come back when you need it, or join for a month and love it and stay and hang out with us. So yeah, there's the link to join us, and I really hope you do. All right. Where are we? Let me look at where we are for time. Oh, we're doing great. Do y'all want to hear who the winners are? Oh, I'm so excited about this. I love giving away prizes. It's like one of my all-time favorite things. And you all showed up for this challenge. You participated. You showed up for yourselves, which is what I want to reward you with. And in the work that you did and how you developed your Instagram in just a few short days. Imagine committing to yourself like that long term. I'm so excited for you. So what we have is swag. I have some samples here. So this is a cup mug that Amanda designed. Doesn't it look cool? It says stay savvy. So this is what you could win, is a mug like that. Or we also have a mug like this that says business owner fuel. Quite cool. We have t-shirts as well. This is an OG swag item. One of our favorites. They're super soft. Social media rockstar. And do I have that in? There we go. Social media rockstar, and on the back it says Savvy Social School. But these tees are quite cute and soft. Okay, whoever has a tee, y'all have to say in the comments how much you love these, because these are great. And then our newest thing, which is actually still in production. Look, y'all. This is a sample, but this is our planner. What? Okay, so the digital copy is available in the school right now, but we're going to start giving away physical copies as well. I'm so freaking excited about this. So it has lots of things in here from the monthly calendars. And what I love is this, like the monthly report card. So when I talk about, measuring your metrics, every month you can sit down and write your monthly report card. So we've got the whole year in here. It's not dated, so you can start and stop whenever you'd like. It's got your content calendar in here as well. That's August that I flipped to. And also at the beginning of every month, we do a monthly reflections, and we have notes in here. So let me pull this up. Month at a glance. Month at a glance. So you can write down what's your focus for the month, if you have any key campaigns. So lastly, we're also giving away 1-year subscription to Planoly. So Planoly is our other sponsor for this challenge. Thank you, Planoly. Planoly is a really great Instagram management tool. If you don't like pen and paper, you can plan your entire Instagram strategy in Planoly. You can also do the monthly metrics in Planoly. You can actually see a visual representation of what your Instagram feed would look like. They even have the ability for you to schedule notifications to post stories and Instagram reels, and it's a lot of fun. So our winners, we have one grand prize winner who's winning all of this, and then our runner-ups will win some of the swag. Congratulations, Naomi, for being our grand prize winner. Our runner-ups are Neves, Katrina, and Bonnie Jones. Yay! Congratulations, you're number one. Okay, I should not be singing like that, but congratulations to our winners. Jemmy will be reaching out to you to get you your prizes. Jemmy is our customer service representative here at the school. And so again, our grand prize winner wins all of our swag, the planner, the t-shirts, the mugs, and 1-year subscription free to Planoly. Our runner-ups will win some of our swag. You get to choose between the planner, the mugs, or the t-shirts. So congratulations, everyone. You are fantastic. That is our hour, but I want to hang out with you further for some Q&A. So I know we had some questions that came in, and so I want to make sure that we spend some time going through these questions. And just as a note, for those of you who join the school, and I'll put that link in the chat again, we are doing we're digging deeper into this. So okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing this for a sec before we dive in the Q&A. Yes, congrats to our winners. Okay, I really got to talk about this for a sec because I missed this point when I was talking about the school. We're doing some special bonuses specifically tied to this challenge. Every single person who joins the school will get an Instagram audit. by me or someone on the team, but it'll probably be me. I will put my eyeballs on your Instagram account and say, do this, do that, don't do this, fix that, love this, love that for $37. I can't, like, amazing. Inside of the school, we're only doing this till the end of this month. So you've got to join now to get this prize. We also have Julie, our resident ads strategist, doing a whole session on Instagram ads specifically for those of you who want to start investing in that way. And then I'm going to do a whole strategy session around Instagram tactics, kind of leveling up what we talked about today. So how do we batch Instagram Reels? How do we even add Instagram Reels into this strategy? When do we go live? When do we do stories? How do we even get started with stories if we've never posted to stories before? All of those things are going to be available in the school this month for those of you who join. And our theme for the month is all about mindful marketing. We are not going to do this in like the sleazy, spammy way. We're going to do this in a way that feels good for our business, feels good for us and our teams to actually implement and do. Okay, so join the school, please. If you liked this bootcamp, I like to consider this bootcamp as like, the bootcamp is like the Costco sample of what the school is, right? So like if you like the sample of like that little cheese and cracker at Costco, you go, I'm going to buy a couple boxes of the cheese and cracker, right? So the bootcamp was that free little cheese and cracker sample. The school is like so much more. I can't even put it all in slides because it's amazing. It is in US dollars, USD. Amazing. Okay. I literally geek out about the school so much because it's so much fun. Our number one complaint, my team and I were talking about this. Our number one complaint is that there's too much content. Like that's our problem is people go, there's so much, it's too much. But it's like a little buffet. You pick and choose what you want. All right. Q&A time. Go ahead and drop your questions in the chat. And I'm going to hang out with you for as long as I can, answering some questions. We had 2 questions that came in during the challenge that I want to make sure that I get to. But I want to also make sure I get to your Instagram questions as well. So this question came from Katrina, which I wanted to talk more about. She's reviewing the lessons, and her business is around cybersecurity tips for female solo entrepreneurs. But of course, the tips are for any gender. So she wanted to know if she should say that in her bio, being clear that I am not the expert, or what other information should she put in her bio? And actually, I'm going to pull this up and just take a look at you. There you are. Katrina, I'm going to do a flash audit for you right here, right now. Let's do it. As I'm pulling this up, Neves, yes, we have the full Instagram or LinkedIn course. And we have just added in LinkedIn Live support. So you'll be able to learn about LinkedIn Live. And then we do a LinkedIn challenge every year as well. But the full LinkedIn is a full ass course. Hey, okay, Katrina. Okay, so Katrina's Instagram, y'all go follow Katrina. Let me put this link in here. Katrina, thank you so much for letting us use your question. So I love this. I help my entrepreneur sisters stay safe with plain English cyber tips so that you can focus on your thing. Follow me to reduce your stress. Oh my gosh. I already can tell that there's so much power in this. So a few things I would suggest, Katrina, and I'm using this as an example of what it's like to get an audit in the school, okay? Liaison between experts and entrepreneurs. Oh, I would say that. Right in your bio, Katrina. So yes, I help. So instead of saying I help, I would say, I would use like a wave emoji and say wave at entrepreneur sisters who want to stay safe. And then I do a line break and say cyber security safety tips in plain English So Entrepreneur Sisters, cyber safety tips with plain English. So line, and then the focus on your thing. I love that. So I would just do a this or that for that. So stop getting lost in the stress or something like that so that you can focus on your thing. So I'd have 3 lines, and this is strategic for Instagram to make it readable. So hot wave emoji, I love emojis. Wave emoji, Entrepreneur Sisters, cyber safety tips in plain English, move away from stress so you can focus on your thing. Okay. And then I would add a call to action. So if that was me, what do I do with this information? I think you mentioned you're still building your business. So maybe it's DM me. If this is you, send me a DM, and I would leave it at that. Love it. Love it. Love it. Hopefully that helped you, Katrina. Awesome. All right. Next question. Next question here came from Robbie. Robbie says, Robbie posted his reel and it did get higher views, or his or her there. What do you think? And yes, thank you for everything. This is awesome. Okay, Robbie, I have your reel here. Robbie's reel. Happy Friday. I love it. Take a break. We do the work. Enjoy. Oh, those look good. Those look delicious. Bingskis? I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry, Robbie. Robbie, yeah, this is cute. I like it. Let me take a look at your other reels here. Y'all go follow Robbie. I'm going to put Robbie's link in the chat. Thank you, Robbie, for your question. So for the reels, this one did get the most views. And when we're looking at the rest of your posts, yeah. Okay, so one suggestion I have, Robbie, is give me more information on what this is. So like when I look at your profile, we ship nationwide, amazing. I would think this was local business based on how this was set up. So I would put that in the caption or something like that. Like, what do we do? What happens when we check out? How much is it? What kind of flavors do you have? Get really specific in your posts. And I think that will really help you have people convert more, because there's quite a few things happening. So this one specifically looks like it's about the chocolate chip cookies, and they actually look really good, like maybe white chocolate chip with chocolate peanut butter maybe too, or maybe I'm just wishful thinking here. But I would say that. Like delicious, chewy, melt in your mouth chocolate chip cookies. We ship nationwide. Order today, get your cookies tomorrow. Only $10 or whatever they are. And to me, that's selling it more. Like, bring me along the journey. Think about all the steps. And so, Robbie, what I would recommend you do is give yourself a brainstorm session. Sit down for an hour, 30 minutes, and start writing out why do people buy your cookies? What's important about nationwide shipping? What are the steps someone takes to buy the cookies? And really start breaking those down. And those are your social media posts. And really pull me along the journey. Okay? Awesome. Yes, thank you, Robbie, for your question. All right, let us move over to the chat now. The chat, we have some questions. Cynthia has a question here. Can you explain how to use Instagram with the laptop versus the phone? Yes, Cynthia. So I highly recommend using the mobile application on your phone. Okay, so using the mobile application on your phone. And the reason being is that Instagram is a mobile first technology app. Any of the new features are going to be available on the mobile device first. Now, I'm with you, Cynthia, in that I like using my desktop. I just don't like typing on my phone. It irritates me. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm an elder millennial and I didn't grow up with like typing on my phone. I like typing on the actual keys on the keyboard. And so what I do is I plan out my posts using a tool like Planoly, or Fan Booster is another one that I use, where you can actually type out your posts. And then when it goes to post to Instagram, you're using your mobile phone still for like networking and engaging, but most of your content creation is on the desktop. And you can even respond to some comments and questions on desktop, but be wary because some things get buried on the desktop version of Instagram. Things like message requests. So if someone you don't know tries to message you, it may not show up. Okay. I hope that helps answer your question. Drop your questions in the chat. I would love to answer them. And I'm going to scroll back up. I think someone else had a question earlier that I wanted to maybe type it again if that was you, that I wanted to answer. But go ahead and type your questions in the chat so that we can answer them. I feel like I answered some of these along the way, actually. Maybe it's Katrina who had a question. I'll put this one up while I'm going. This workshop is recorded and it's available until May 21st for those of you who are learning with me in the boot camp. If you're in the school, we will have this available for the lifetime of your membership. Okay, here's the question I saw earlier. It seems overwhelming to decide who to keep engaging with. Everyone who is following you or that you're following, or you can find new people. So Katrina, this is how social media is designed. There's a bit of a FOMO element to it where you feel like you're not seeing everything. You feel like you're not keeping up with all of the posts. So I want to acknowledge first that this is by design. So if you're feeling this way, it's working. Yay, Instagram wins. Okay. So this is that feeling that they're trying to dive into. They literally want you to keep scrolling for eternity. They want you to spend hours and hours and hours watching everything on the app. That's not possible, especially as business owners. We have way too much going on. So I want you to try not to think about what you're missing. And I want you to tap into the present moment of who you're connecting with. You are going to miss some things. So when it comes to deciding who to engage with, think about what you want to get from it first. So I'll give an example of a campaign that worked really well for me. My ideal customers and clients are not on social media. They tend to be right before social, or especially my clients, they just don't have time. So that's why they hire my agency. So I wanted to get more clients. That was my goal. I needed some more clients, and I love working with podcasters. So what I did was I focused in on connecting with podcast agencies, people who did like podcast editing services, because my theory was if someone was paying for podcast editing services, they probably would also pay for social media management services to promote their podcast. So I spent a good 2-3 months spending 10-15 minutes a day on Instagram, specifically networking with podcast editors. And I would split my time between the feed and looking for new people. So my current audience, I would scroll through likes and comments, and then I would go to new people and try to find someone who was a podcast editor who looked like they had maybe a similar size business to me. Okay. So in that, there's some things that happen organically that I can't really tell you what the next steps are. It's kind of like if someone said, how do you make friends? Well, you start talking to someone and then eventually you become a friend. Like there's not a formula to that. But even then, not every single person you talk to is going to become a friend. In fact, most people you talk to are just like casual people. There's a very rare person who becomes a bestie or a really good friend. And sometimes that takes time, years to develop. So this is a time play. But what I was noticing is as I was going through, there was a few people who I really connected with. We were liking and commenting on each other's posts. We were really connecting. And so then I sent those people a DM and said, hey, we've been liking and commenting on each other's posts. I was wondering if we could just grab a virtual coffee chat over Zoom. I'd love to know how we could support each other's businesses. And I probably did that I probably sent those messages to about 100 people. I only ever had a handful of conversations. I think only 10 people ever responded to me. 2 or 3 conversations came from that. One person turned into an amazing resource for me. I connected with him so well. I hired him to edit my podcast, even though I was not looking for an editor at the time. And it was amazing connection. And we're still friends to this day. We've gone to conferences and like hung out together. And so I think that there's a power in connecting, but you've got to start with the end goal, which is I wanted to connect with podcast hosts and editing companies because those were the people who we had similar clients with. Yes, so I hope that helps you, Katrina. Awesome. Okay, here's a question. This must be coming from our community, our Facebook group, because it's a private group. It's not showing your name, but would you create an Instagram profile when you pivot or keep the old profile? So new one versus an old one. I love this question. And since you're in our Facebook group, I'd love to dive deeper with this in our community as well. But I love keeping your same account. So if you're pivoting in your company and you're able to change your account name, do that. And then you can delete or archive your old posts if you want. I like to keep them there. It's a story that it goes with your story, right? I love that I can go back 4 years ago and go, ooh, look at my post. It's part of your history. But if you don't feel comfortable, or if it's just really not aligned, you can delete or archive those older posts. Keep your same page, change the name, update your profile, and all of that good stuff. One of my theories about Instagram is that they like the pages that have been around for a long time. We find sometimes brand new pages are tough to build because they don't have that good standing with Instagram yet. Yes, awesome. Okay, last question I'm going to take before wrapping up comes in from Neve. Neve says, how do I know what the best hashtags are to use and how many? Yes, so let me see if I can show this instead of tell. You guys know I like to show, not tell. So what I'm going to do is I have a little app that lets me project to the screen here. And it was exactly what I was using with my iPad, but I'm going to use it on my phone now and see if I can share my Instagram with you and show you a little bit of how I would approach Instagram hashtagies. Now, when we're thinking about hashtags, I want you to think about your client first and not you. So sometimes, for instance, I'm a social media manager. I wouldn't use hashtag social media manager. I would use hashtag life coach because I want to work with life coaches, or I'd use hashtag web designer. So we want to look for the hashtags that our ideal clients are using. And you just got to try to think of one to start with. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up my Instagram on my phone. Hopefully this is big enough. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I don't know. Hopefully that works. Anyway, so this is my Instagram. So what I do is go to the search in the bottom corner. And in the top, I want to start searching for something. So let's say you're, what's an example? Who has an example for me? Okay, let's say you're a tarot card reader and you want to find other tarot card readers to connect with. So you can type in hashtag tarot card, look up the card, look up the hashtag. This has 3.8 million views. That's a bit high. So if you post in here, there's a lot of people posting. These 3.8 million posts, that's how many posts exist in this hashtag in that lifetime. So it may be a bit much, but it's a starting place. So what I'd recommend is go to one of these posts. I'm going to click on this one as an example and look at the other hashtags that someone's using in the post. I don't know where her hashtags are. Let's see. Some people like to hide them. Oh my gosh. These are the drag race cards my friend told me about. Okay, anyways. At the bottom, you see the hashtags there. Here are some other hashtags you can use. Hashtag queer tarot, hashtag gay witches, hashtag Canada's drag race, hashtag tarot decks, hashtag tarot reader of Instagram. So let's do hashtag tarot decks. This hashtag has 230,000 posts. This is a great hashtag to use. I suggest looking for ones between 100,000 and 1 million posts so that your post actually gets seen. And build out a block of hashtags from here. So you want to have hashtag blocks that go with each of your content themes. So promotional posts will have a certain block, educational posts will have a certain block, and I typically recommend having 20 to 30 hashtags. Okay, so 20 to 30. The maximum Instagram allows you is 30, so I like to get as close to that as possible. And yeah, look for ones that have uses and make sure you actually look at the hashtag. So hashtag tarot decks, for instance, I would scroll through. You can see these hashtags are tarot decks, okay? Some of the hashtags may not mean what you think, so definitely look it up first. That's my word of warning there. As you're looking through this, one of the things that we offer in the school is we do hashtag research for you. So if you're a member of the school and you want us to look up something specific, post it in our Facebook group. We will do the hashtag research for you. And we have a hashtag database where we save it that has all of the history of research that we've done for our school members. So if there's something you want us to look up specifically, we got you. We got you. Oh my gosh. Thank you everyone for joining me for our live stream today. Got to give another shout out to our sponsor. If you want to live stream like I am, I'm on Facebook, I'm on YouTube, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm in the Facebook group, all of those places. I'm basically like cloning myself in all of the places. Definitely check out Restream. They are an amazing tool that allows me to do the fancy things that I am doing today. Also, shout out to everyone who participated in this challenge. You are amazing. If you want to join the school, please join us. The coupon code for $37 a month is in the chat. I'll put it in the chat again. Y'all have been absolutely fantastic. I love hanging out with you. Let's give yourselves one more shout out. Go ahead and say hi. We'll see your names up on the screen as we do that. And let me post this. I can't tell if it already went. Join the Savvy Social School, $37 a month. We're doing profile audits. I'm looking at your Instagram profile, giving you feedback, pointing you in the right direction. But also, we're doing some live classes, some additional training, and all of that fun stuff. So yes, give me one last shout out. Say hi in the chat. Alyssa, thank you. Thank you for joining us live. Amazing job here in the Instagram bootcamp. You rock. You rock. I see Cynthia there. Justine from BC. Hello. Cynthia, awesome. Yes. Neves, thank you so much. Congratulations on your win. Yes, Katrina and Twyla. Thank you so much for joining me live. Katie says thanks. Katie is our community or our programs coordinator, y'all. She did such a great job in nurturing and connecting with all of you in this challenge. Linda, thank you. And you know what? I will see you in the school. We have our live sessions coming up. I am so excited to continue to support your Instagram growth. And I wish you a happy Saturday. Bye, everybody.